Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome people to episode 417 of Film Bastards. I'm one of your co-hosts, Mark Foster, and as ever, I am joined by
Becky Foster. Hello, everybody.
And you may be wondering, why is Mark hosting an odd number? That's weird. They're the ones that Ian hosts. Well, Ian's caught his penis in his zipper, and he's struggling to get it out at the moment. So, until he frees his wang, you're just stuck with us for the time being. Yes, we get it. On the No Time to Die podcast, Ian got his penis stuck in his trousers. So yes, so once Ian, like I say, frees himself from the clutches of his zipper, Ben Stiller style, then he will join us. Yes. So what have we got this week, Becky? What have we got? We have No Time to Die. Literally the podcast Ian's been waiting for almost 2 years, and yes, he's indisposed. What else are we going to chat about, Becky? We're also going to chat the Red Shoes, which won your poll, didn't it?
Yay.
You won another poll, didn't you? You won the next one, didn't you, as well?
No.
Did you? Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah.
What film did you choose?
Can't remember.
Wow.
It's been a really long day.
So it's like really like stuck in your head then, isn't it? Exactly what film. I always remember these, and these bastards never vote for mine, do they? There's always one pervert who votes for mine, and the rest of it, I'm just like, what the fuck? No. You want to watch that, you knobhead?
You could stop picking film.
What? No, I'm trying to educate these people.
Yeah.
Trying to make it known what's going on. Ian's just messaged me. He's going to be 2 minutes. So, yes. So
He's managed to release himself. He's getting a faster.
He is getting a blast and a bandage.
Yeah.
So bandage up his one.
Maybe even a splint.
Yeah.
You
might need a splint. We're unsure
Can you get
of
cop
the damage. You can get cop. I'm not sure you can get a cop sling.
Would they just be like, what are they called?
Banana hammocks.
Yeah.
It would be, but with a little bit less kind of twanginess, I'd say. Yeah, but that. So we've got the Red Shoes, which won the poll from yourself. What's that? That was a Patreon poll, wasn't it?
It was.
So people,
What's Patreon?
What's Patreon? It's $2 a month is what Patreon is, and you get extra content.
Wow.
Including our current Hellraiser marathon.
Ian's really enjoying
Ian's
that,
really enjoying that. Yeah, so that includes our Hellraiser marathon. Ian, how's your penis?
Do you know what? Little bit sore. It's difficult, isn't it, when you jerk off and then straight away you have to put on pants that are already damp from what happened before.
Yeah, it's
chafes.
It's one of life's worst things. So we've done the intro. We've told the viewers listeners, what they can expect from this show. And then you've now joined us. And I'm just wondering what Becky's doing. What are you doing, Bex?
Washing it in.
Becky's bringing the washing in like a good little housewife.
I am a good little housewife. That's
I'll get punched for that later, aren't I?
No, I'll just twang you with a tea towel.
Yes. So Patreons, $2 a month, extra content. We are a Pod Syndicate podcast. Go out there and listen to other Pod Syndicate podcasts. You know what they all are.
Have we checked in on Ian's penis?
We have checked in on Ian's penis, yes.
Okay.
Ian, what's been happening in the news this week?
Well, the thing is, we recorded on Thursday.
Yeah.
And it's Monday.
Yep.
So
it's probably the shortest length we've had between shows in a while.
It might be. Yeah. Like I feel like we've done Wednesday, Sunday before, but I don't think we've ever done Thursday, Monday, because Tuesday or Wednesday generally seems to be recording day, and we went later the one week and earlier the other week.
Yeah.
So yeah. God, we're going to talk about No Time to Die, but the fucking box office performance. Apparently, I read somewhere that apparently there were 7,000 show times for No Time to Die this weekend.
Yeah, the thing is, there's something that I want to kind of touch on a little bit here. I don't think I touched on last week. So, we can all agree, I think, that cinemas took a little bit should I say, rather than cinema itself, but cinemas as an industry took a big hit during the pandemic and are still not out of the other side of it quite yet.
No.
And the thing is, I think we can all also agree that, for instance, I'm not saying we were all a little bit, it's not yourself, but myself and Ian were a little bit meek, but you really enjoyed Green Knight. But I think all of us were a little bit narked that we couldn't go on, that we didn't have a large opportunity to go and see it in the cinema.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But the Green Knight isn't going to keep cinemas going.
No.
Movies like that aren't going to. The movies that do are No Time to Die and
I think I know where this is going. Sorry. Yeah.
And films like Spider-Man movie that's coming out and Venom, Let There Be Carnage. These are the movies that are going to sort of keep things going, that are going to essentially just light the touch paper of getting people back into that thing. So why, as film fans, was I seeing so many complaining about the amount of screens that Bond was taking up? It was honestly, it was baffling me to the point of where I don't engage in these things anymore because I find it's fucking useless. But I did find myself on the cusp of actually engaging in things with people. Don't do that. Well, do you know what? Because cinemas want to make it as easy and as safe as possible and make people feel as comfortable as possible going there. So if you've got a 12-screen cinema and they want to dedicate 8 screens to, or 10 screens to Bond because they think they're going to fill it, then surely that's a good thing at the moment.
Just fucking let them make the
Surely that is a good thing at the moment. And that maybe now isn't the time to go, well, actually, they had to not show for this. Like, you weren't going to see it anyway because you watched a press screener of it.
Yeah.
I'm
not going to lie, being in the cinema with normal cinema people rather than the nerds that will go anyway was weird.
It was.
There are many weeks in the calendar year where interesting shit can come out because a blockbuster isn't out or one's coming out in a couple of weeks or something like that. You know, should the Green Knight have got a theatrical release? It was going to in August, and then Entertainment got an offer they couldn't refuse. Fair fucking play to them. The fact that Bond came out, what was its what actually was its competition? Yes, there were. I saw somebody moaning that there were like 15 films released in UK cinemas this weekend, and it's like, yeah, but they are literally films that are playing like one screen at the ICA in London, just so it can actually, basically, if it plays one screen in London, it will get some sort of write-up in a paper, or Kermode will talk about it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, saying, well, there were 15 films out this way, fuck off. No, there weren't really, though, were there? If you were to look at the amount of films that are actually released on over, say, 50 screens, it would be one, even 50 screens, So, yeah, I very, very, very much agree with this, Mark. And you know what? No, there's not much out next week, this weekend either, because it's Bond's second weekend. But what have we got the third weekend? You've got Halloween Kills, you've got The Last Duel, and you've got Venom. So, at the very least, The Last Duel is going to be interesting to fucking dickheads who can't countenance Venom. The 22nd, you've got The French Dispatch, you got Dune. The week after that, you got Last Night in Soho and Antlers. There is interesting shit coming out just because there's a big film that you don't want to watch, but loads of other fucking people do, and especially at a time where cinemas need those fucking people. Fuck off.
It was quite lovely, actually, getting and it really busy. Like there being queues to each of it, and then having it so it was packed out.
Mm.
We went to an IMAX screening on Sunday, and it was
really busy. Yeah,
it was.
Yes, the recording has dropped
too
off.
close.
There they are.
Are you back?
Yeah, I just heard Becky say too close, and that was about it.
It was. We had to choose between sitting too close or sitting not central, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's not been helped by the fact that the Cineworld app has been updated, and now you can't book.
What the fuck is going on with that app?
It's fucking shite, isn't it? So I used to have Mark's card details stored on my app so that I could just book us both, because Mark's app didn't work.
No.
Now you don't seem to be able to add another Friends Unlimited card. You're my friend.
No, I mean that app on my phone seems to be convinced that there is only 3 films playing this week, and there are actually more films. And it's got like 2D reserved as like a definition. 2D reserved. Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck is that? And then you go on the website. The website's fine. It's very weird. But no, yeah, I mean, you're right. It was fun seeing these things packed out. And again, I get that some folks are not very comfortable with that prospect. Like, absolutely, it should not be forgotten. There are still over 30,000 cases a day. You know, COVID hasn't gone anywhere. But at the same time, hospitalizations are pretty stable or decreasing, and deaths are stable or decreasing. So, you know, I don't know, you have to make your choice there. But hey, you know what? If you didn't want to go to a packed screening of No Time to Die, I'm sure your local cinema was showing it at 9 o'clock in the morning this weekend.
There was enough screenings that you didn't. Yeah,
you could have seen it at 20 past 9 in the morning at the IMAX I went to. 20 past 9 in the morning.
Yeah, the Mad Theatre. There is. We are recording. It is currently 7:15 now. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screenings still to happen at our local Cineworld tonight.
There's only 4 left at our new local Cineworld.
Oh, you're fucked. You're fucked. You made the wrong choice.
I mean, I don't know how often I'm going to need 7 screenings of Bond.
So you motherfuckers have got 4DX. I can't wait. Venom 4DX, baby. Come on, let's go.
I mean, yeah, I am actually quite looking forward to Venom 4DX. Actually, there's a possibility that Venom in 3D 4DX might be our first movie at that cinema.
I mean, if you guys do that, I'll do it.
I kind of feel like we have to, don't we?
Yeah, because you should be back by then, and I'm not at work, am I?
Oh, yes, mate. I got it 4DX 3D. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Am I going to see Venom next Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock in 4DX 3D?
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. We could say one bit of news that I did see.
Go on.
The quietest ever, like, let's just put a statement out saying this is all sorted, of Scarlett Johansson and Disney making up again.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. We've sat down and we've written a check and she's back on board.
And apparently the thinking is overall she will now be getting about 40 million for Black Widow.
Cool.
You know, good. I don't know. Good on her. It's just a shame that has probably helped no one.
Yeah.
Other than Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. Good on her. Why not?
I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's very easy to sit here and go, oh, wow, you massively rich person didn't get quite as much more massively rich as you thought you were going to. But if it's money, if it's stuff that's in a contract, she's entitled to it.
What would be a nice gesture, right?
Mm.
Is if she made like a big donation to some kind of union's charity within the industry or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think she will,
I don't think she will.
but it would be a nice gesture.
It would.
Yeah.
And also, actually, in terms of box office stuff, Venom Let There Be Carnage doing over $90 million in the US this weekend is fucking wild. Well done.
Yeah, I am here, absolutely 100% here for how irritated people are getting that the fact that A, Venom Let There Be Carnage exists, and B, people actually seem to really want to watch it. And it's wrecking some people's heads because some people are going crazy going, but didn't they see the first one? It's like, yes, they did see the first one and they enjoyed it.
We did.
That's the
and
thing.
We liked it, and the new trailer's great.
Yeah.
So fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It's just I'm very much looking forward to that because it looks like a Sunday morning cartoon of a movie, and I want that.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not Sunday morning cartoon. I think there's probably going to be quite a lot of violence in there.
Did you not watch Sunday morning cartoons? They were quite violent at points.
Were they?
Yeah, they were.
Look, it seems like cinemas are gonna be all right, and like the whole day and date thing, I think to a certain extent, it is now going to fuck off. Like there's been these two in combination being cinemas only. You look at the Many Saints of Newark in the US. Why is my mum calling me? Fuck's sake. I'm ever so sorry. I better take this, guys. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Well, you look at something like, for instance, we had in our screen, didn't we, Bex? There was the IMAX trailers went on because you get trailers for different movies with it being IMAX because they try and put the IMAX ones on. So first time in a long time we've been to the cinema, like in, I would say, well over a year, 18 months maybe. We were at the cinema and we've not seen a trailer for Bond.
Yeah, it was very exciting.
It was very weird, wasn't it? But yeah, we got a trailer for Dune, for instance.
Yeah.
And did you notice that literally there was quite a lot of chatter because it was just trailers and adverts and bits like that. When the Dune trailer came on, everyone shut the fuck up.
It's a very atmospheric trailer, though, isn't it?
For the Dune trailer. But then Dune has already been released in certain markets. It's got a staggered release across. So it's already out in like, I think, like 20 or 30 markets. And it is, I'm fairly certain in saying that it has done over 100 million so far. I'm just going to check to make sure I'm not talking absolute bobbins about that. So yeah, over 100 million. Which
for such a dense, not hugely accessible looking kind of movie is great.
Yeah, it's 2 hours 35 minutes long. It's not an established product. It's just not. People say, "Oh, it's a very famous book." It's like, yeah, but it's
within circles.
It's a niche famous book.
Yeah.
You know that in the same as it's a very niche film, the Lynch film.
Yeah.
That is the hair.
It's got Sting.
Let's not remind people of Sting's existence. So yes, that's there was people who were literally saying there's a possibility that Dune wouldn't even crack 100 million pre-pandemic,
right?
Because it was, you know, what was the point in doing this after Dennis Villeneuve did Blade Runner 2049 and that kind of bombed a little bit.
Sorry about that. My mum just needed to tell me that WhatsApp was down. I know.
It's probably because you couldn't WhatsApp me to tell you.
I mean, no. I mean, that was, to be fair, she was like, just in case you're worried. She phoned a fucking phone provider in Spain. Bless her. And it was just told it's a global outage and we don't know when it will be back. And so I'm ever so sorry. That just really made me laugh. She phoned her phone company, bless her. Oh, sorry.
Grown ups, eh? Aren't they weird? We're not grown ups.
I think we kind of
We're not grown ups. No, we're not grown ups.
So I think when you combine the, you know, what's happened with No Time to Die, we'd like to say what happened with Venom Let There Be Carnage in the States,
Positive, isn't it?
plus what you've had happen with Free Guy did very well, and June is also starting to do really well. I think we can say nature's healing itself.
Yeah.
It feels like it. It feels like it. It's just, I know the whole accessibility thing and whatnot, but it just what it has done. It has shortened the windows. I know we had that discussion about like how many day window would be the norm and whatnot, but you look at Free Guy coming out on Disney Plus like about 45 days after it came out in the cinemas. People that, you know, folks who can't get to the cinema do not have to wait too long. I'm sorry they can't be in on the conversation on day one, but frankly, if they were in on the conversation on day one, within a few years, you would have less films to talk about. But you know, if less money is to be made from them, So no, I mean, just you look at Paramount Plus, you look at them getting rid of top level executives over the last few weeks, and basically Paramount now becoming a place that is basically going to try and make TV series based off their IP. They're less interested in cinema and films and whatnot. And it kind of feels like shit. Have they course corrected a little bit too fast? Warner Brothers, their CEO Jason Kilar was interviewed last week, and he said, "Do you know what? We were too hasty on the HBO Max thing." And he was saying because we should have spent more time talking to the filmmakers and whatnot. But there's definitely an inference there. You know, Many Saints in Newark does $5 million in the US this weekend, and don't get me wrong, a Sopranos prequel isn't going to open to 50, but you would get people actually paying to see it in the cinema if they didn't have the option of watching it on telly. Right, trailers.
Have there been any?
Probably. Tick, Tick, Boom. I watched the trailer for Lin-Manuel Miranda's directorial debut. I'm rushing now just in case it fucking hangs up again. Christ. It looks all right. It looks like it's going to have its heart on its sleeve. It looks like it could be a little bit grating, if I'm absolutely honest.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it looks like it could either be like 97 minutes long or 2.5 hours long.
Yes.
So let's see what we've got. It's an hour and 55 minutes. That makes me feel
okay. That's not too shabby.
Yeah, I'm all right with that. It feels like there's going to be enough in there, but not too much that makes me go, "Oh, piss off now."
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
What else have we got? Sure, there's another trailer I watched.
Oh, we've got the extended trailers of Dune and West Side Story in the IMAX. They were extended versions, weren't they?
There was a West Side Story trailer in the IMAX.
I imagine that.
I saw a new West Side Story trailer maybe a week or two ago where they're still trying to pretend that Ansel Elgort is not in it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a longer trailer.
It wasn't on the IMAX bed, no.
What else was there then?
We had an IMAX. We had the Dune one.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what else, but it wasn't West Side Story.
I had the Kingsman one that was new because it was saying about this Christmas and whatnot. I'm you know, between Spider-Man, The Kingsman, and Matrix Resurrections, I've got 3 kind of bangers at the cinema for Christmas time.
That was it. I don't know where I got West Side Story from. It was a longer Matrix one.
It was a longer
Matrix
Matrix one, yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sorry, brain fart.
Those 2 very similar movies.
I mean, thematically, you know, you can't really tell them apart.
No.
I am so fucking on board for the new Matrix.
I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to rewatching even the shit ones.
I'm less looking forward to that.
I'll rewatch them, but the thought of watching not Resurrections, fucking Revolutions again does give me some pause, but I will.
Is that which was the second one?
Reloaded.
Yeah, that's the one I remember disliking the most.
Okay.
It's just Revolutions has got all the fucking shit where they're battling the machines in Zion.
Oh,
and it's like,
doesn't it? Yeah.
I can't be doing with that.
Is it Right, what's number 2 called again? My brain's gone completely.
Reloaded.
Reloaded. Is it Reloaded or is it Revelations? That's the one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Am I just getting them wrong? Am I just saying
Fucking hell, Mark.
Right. Which one's the one with Monica Bellucci's vagina in it?
They're Reloaded.
That's
and
the
I don't
one.
think it's her vagina.
It is.
No, it was the Merovingian. Is like talking about some other woman, and like he's made a pudding that gives her an orgasm.
No, there's a shot in Matrix where, because of the light and the dress she's wearing, you can actually see through and see her.
Oh, you can.
Yes, you can.
That now, yeah.
Yes.
Right. So it's not the pudding woman. Okay.
No, it's not the pudding. No, it's
not her actual vagina, is it? It's her.
Oh, you can see her lady garden.
Yeah.
You can see her ones and zeros.
Jesus.
Listen, this show's got a carnage.
Venom, let there be carnage.
Yeah. Fucking wishes. Should we review an actual movie? Because it just seems like it's the best thing to do.
Sure.
So, No Time to Die.
Just to say,
Ian, actually, I think you're hosting this one, so I'll let you do this.
oh shit, yeah, no, God, I probably
7.
am. So just to say, patrons, I did like 25 minutes monologuing about No Time to Die that went up as a unexpected Ian's Guide to Bondage over the weekend. So, and I did that purposefully.
Were you masturbating while you did it?
No, I mean close, but
Okay.
so like because I kind of wanted to be spent so that I don't just fucking monologue through this. That was the aim. Let's see how I go. So yeah, No Time to Die. It's directed by Kerry Joji Fukunaga, stars Daniel Craig, Lea Seydoux, Rami Malek, Christoph Waltz, Lashana Lynch, Jeffrey Wright, Billy Magnuson, Ray Fiennes, Naomi Harris, Ben Whishaw, many folks.
Billy fucking Mags had a couple of leaks, hasn't he?
Hasn't he just? Yeah, absolutely. Very, very all spoilers all the time.
Yep.
Any like I mean really all spoilers all the time. Like you don't want to be fucking spoiled for it. So what lies for us in this one? Bond drove off at the end of Spectre with Madeline, played by Lea Seydoux, and they are vacationing in Italy. A series of events happens which makes Bond think that Madeline is maybe not entirely on the up and up. Cut to 5 years later, and Bond is now retired from MI6 and is recruited by Felix Leiter, played by Jeffrey Wright, to assist in capturing a kidnapped scientist. And it goes on from there. So, Becky.
Oh, please don't come to me first.
Becky.
Yeah?
Right, so, you straight up, you're just not a particular fan of Bond. So, can I ask, from that perspective, I'm really fucking interested in this. Did the end of it work for you? Because I imagine you've got like no real connection to the Daniel Craig films, like how Daniel Craig's played Bond. So the ending, do you think it had the desired impact on yourself?
Right, so just to clarify, I don't hate the Daniel Craig Bond movies. I like
no, but you're not invested. No,
but I mean, more so than I have been with any other. But I do like the movies. I'm just not as like all in to the franchise, I guess. The ending, I obviously haven't watched all the rest of the Bond movies, all the older ones and stuff like that. So I just thought that's what happened when they changed actor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I was just like, oh, there we go. New Bond. So it didn't really... So I was kind of expecting it because, like, Doctor Who
that's
dies and then a
interesting.
new Doctor Who takes over. I was just thinking it was that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, all right, no, fair enough. I could see how that could colour things somewhat if you were expecting it. Mark, I'm assuming you weren't necessarily expecting it, thinking that happens to all Bonds. Like at the end of the Die Another Day, Pierce Brosnan regenerates into Daniel Craig. But sorry,
I just figured that like they die and then the code name gets reallocated and then that's the new Bond. Because that's what would make sense for them having continually changing faces. I think that's just how my brain has logicized it over the years.
Which honestly, I think that is the only way they continue on with this cast, unless they also spin off Lashana Lynch or Ana de Armas. But anyway, so Mark, you weren't expecting it in terms of the Bond, kind of like how the films work. Is that fair to say?
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't expecting it. No.
Okay. Did the ending work for you?
Yes. I mean, we theorized this about what would happen at this, and we kind of I didn't think in any way that they were going to kill him off. I thought they'd retire him. I thought they'd give him a something, but I didn't think they'd kill him off, and I was. It very much shocked me. I kept thinking, and I suppose all the time, once again to highlight, I kept thinking at that scene of going, right, no, wait, how are they gonna get out of this? Because if they try and get out of this now with the situation he's in, it's going to look hawky as fuck. And I know it's a Bond movie, but it's built up all of this. And then I had this creeping realization within me going, oh shit, wait, no. They're going to kill him. And then when it happened, I was like honestly, properly open-mouthed. What?
Yeah.
I was just sort of looking around as if like there's some kind of help from somebody of the what's going on, making sure that the other people were seeing what I was seeing, and yeah, it did. It did kind of it got me a little bit, and I would say that between the three of us, I think I sit in the middle in that sense that you're not, as we've established, but you're not that the Bonds thing just isn't a thing for you. Whereas with Ian, it's quite you're a big fan of the franchise and the world and everything like that, and you've also been a big fan of the Craig thing. I would go as far as to say that I actually really don't actually like Bond that much.
You like Craig Bond?
And I had fun with the Roger Moore ones and the Timothy Dalton ones when I was younger. And I enjoyed watching them. My favourites, if I went back and watched them now, I'd probably change my opinion. But in my brain, my most fondly remembered ones are the ones that everybody else thinks are shit.
That is just you all over, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little bit. But they are. I like Moonraker and like Octopussy.
Oh yeah.
I'm fine with that. They're fun movies. But the bit that put me off Bond was Pierce Brosnan becoming Bond, because
you've got a real fucking problem with Pierce Brosnan.
He's the least talented person to ever make it in so many different things.
No,
he's a fucking proper autopilot Bond at times as well. Like, I definitely like him more than you, but I could get why you would be annoyed by him.
He has the charisma of an old shoe.
I disagree. He's very charismatic in, like, when he takes the piss out of himself a bit, like in Mamma Mia, he's very, very good. He's not a good singer, but he's good in Mamma Mia at what that role is.
No, he's not. But with Daniel Craig, it kind of felt a little bit like, all right, this is I can get behind this idea. And then with Casino Royale being as good as it was, and me kind of not hating Quantum of Solace as much as everybody else seemed to.
I like Quantum of Solace.
I was really enjoying Craig as Bond, and
Skyfall happened.
Skyfall happened, and I didn't get on with Skyfall. I couldn't. I wish I saw other people saw in it. And we rewatched Spectre this week, and I think that film has problems, which we'll talk about later on when we could talk about Spectre. But also as well, I do think it sets the character up nicely for this film. And it would have been really easy to have fucked this film up, because let's be honest, you had, I would say, two bangers. The people, what is it? You've got two bangers and two not as much. So, this was scheduled, by the rate of, well, banger, not as good, banger, not as good. This one should have been a banger, but it could have gone the other way around. There was points in it that I didn't get on with, but what I will say is, I people are probably going to laugh at this, but I genuinely think that I will struggle to see many better leading male performances than Daniel Craig in this movie.
He's
really
good,
fantastic in it.
It's fucking great.
And he's good at the action bits. He's good at that. But it's also the bit that shows it up a level. And it was the same in Casino Royale. It's the emotional beats. Mm-hmm. It's the bit where he has to put something across. The bit where he there's a great comedy moment, and you mentioned it, Bex, where somebody mentions about his daughter. Your daughter, and he turns around with the kid and goes, "Yeah," and just pulls like a face.
No, I think it's when they meet back up with Lashana Lynch?
Yeah.
And he says something like, "Oh, you already know Madeleine, and this is." He just turns around and pulls a face.
Yeah.
this is Mathilde. She's my.
Yeah, and it's that, and it's the thing of he knows it's his kid. There's a giveaway as well in the
her eyes. Sorry,
no, there's a giveaway that she's pregnant in the pre-credits bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a giveaway when she's.
Does she call him a fucking wanker?
No, well, a little bit. No, there's a moment
she's
where
eating peanut butter and mushrooms.
Yeah, when she's running to the car after he's come into the, what is it?
Oh, she froze up. Sorry, I'm going to shut up. Sorry.
When he's come back to get her, and they're going out to the car. There's a moment there where she literally cups her stomach.
Ah, right.
Oh, fuck.
From that, and I at that point I was like, right, she's fucking pregnant. And then when the kid came out, I was like, right, but she's actively said he's not yours. He knows still that it's his, but he's not being told that it's his kid. But he does know it's his kid. But then the moment when he gets told that it's his kid, and he has that realization of, yeah, it is, and I'm never going to get to.
Fuck.
What is it? Was, and then having the shot after it. Of the back shot, all of that could have been dealt with really badly, and I think that there's a lot of directors, and I'm even going to put Sam Mendes, who did Skyfall and Spectre. I think he'd have dealt with that badly, but I think Kerry. There, he's not bothered about having a flashy moment.
Yeah.
He's not bothered about what he's going to show you. He's story. He's more story and impact than anything else. And that's what I got out of this. There's some great visuals in it. Don't get me wrong, fantastic visuals in it. But at that moment, he's not trying to sell you a visual. He's trying to sell you a story and trying to sell you the emotional impact of it. It's why the end of this movie is Bond just at the top of the mess, and he's literally facing down his own destruction with a smile. It's a phenomenally well handled piece of cinema.
Just to go back to what you were saying about the action,
yes,
for a second. Do you know what I've always liked about the Daniel Craig ones? it's like when he gets hit, he actually acts like he's been hit, like he's hurt. When he gets shot, like he's not just brushing it off. Like a lot of the time does happen in like action movies. They get shot and then like 2 seconds later they're fine, or they stitch themselves up and it's like, yeah, that's done now. So yeah, it actually feels more real, I guess. Like he's a real feeling Bond.
He's not a superhero. He comes across as a guy. But surrounding that, you've got a very. It also doesn't forget to be a Bond film as well. Which at points I think
that's where it falls down in this one for me, though.
Oh, that's interesting.
I agree with you to an extent. Like I think Rami Malek is a very, very good Bond villain.
Not in this film though, and he was in this film. He wasn't. If he's just watched a fuck ton of old Bond movies and gone, right, yeah, that's how I'm gonna play it. That isn't being good in this film. He's crap in this. He's painfully crap in this.
I think he straddles a line.
No, he doesn't. He's crap. Right. He's awful. He's too over the top. The voice the fucking weird accent he's doing is all over the place. The facial mannerisms from Bohemian Rhapsody that he just doesn't seem to be able to stop doing.
Yeah, it's weird that he can't stop doing the lip thing.
It was distractingly bad in this because it felt like an old Bond villain where everything was kind of hammy.
It's
new Bond where a lot of it's quite serious.
It's interesting because there were rumours beforehand that he was basically playing Dr. No, which was like in the official Bond canon was the first Bond villain, and there's the kind of the stilted nature of him is very, very Dr. No, and I wouldn't to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if that was an idea that they had early on, and they just cut it the fuck out because they were like, look, we don't actually need that for this. There's plenty other stuff going on. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he does the job that is asked of him. I don't think he's a highlight, but I also think it's a performance that knows it's not the highlight of the film. And it's not necessarily trying to be the thing that keeps the attention. He is just this fucking fucked up, damaged, like whatever the fuck.
A little weirdo.
Sorry?
He's a little weirdo.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, you've literally got that scene where Lea Seydoux going up to her office and that woman says, oh, you're 11 o'clock's here. He's a bit weird. And she's like, you can't say that. You know, and it's like they are literally fucking just going. It's almost like they added that just in terms of like, it's a fucking odd performance. Just get ready for him almost.
The trailer almost missells it a little bit. I think the trailer missells him a little bit because it makes it seem like he's this essentially assassin that is Bond but on the other side, and he's not at all. He's a little weirdo. And I'm not meaning that as a what is it, but he's not. He's essentially like the heir to a fucking poison company, to a poison island. It's a weird thing. But I was all right with him. He worked enough for me. I thought the pacing of it was fantastic. It didn't feel like a 2 hour 45 minute movie.
No, it felt long, but it didn't feel that long.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching a long movie, but at no point, I think we discussed this briefly after, didn't it, Bex? There's nothing within that movie that I would go, yeah, you could probably lose that. There's no fat on it at all. It's all everything has its right place and everything makes sense within the movie.
And it does remember to be fun at points as well. Like fun and the villains are not necessarily what is on this film's mind, but you've got that sequence with Ana de Armas, which is just a wonderful little arc in itself, where Bond starts off like 3 weeks of training. Yeah, this is going to go great, and by the end, he's just like literally shakes her hand and was like, you were great. Just well done.
Yeah. And as well, it gives her she's not being saved by Bond. Bond literally goes at one point, literally looks at her and goes, "She seems fine."
Yeah.
And he fucks off, and then he comes back, and she does all the bit on her own, and then they meet up, have a drink, and then they go. And it was really nice, the fact that there's no new Bond girl in it. There's Bond girls in there. There's no new Bond fuck toy in it.
Well, I mean,
exploring the whole layer to do.
That's what I mean. But it's interesting that you don't have that within this movie.
No, well, I mean, this is the thing about the Craig films. Like in Casino Royale, the Bond girl dies at the end. In Quantum of Solace, the Bond girl is like this damaged woman who he doesn't get with, and the only woman he does fuck is Gemma Arterton,
who dies,
who then just gets covered in oil. Skyfall, the Bond girl is M. Spectre, Lea Seydoux is the Bond girl, and she's like the daughter of one of the heads of Spectre. And then they carry that on through here. But I mean, I think it's fascinating where like Blofeld is in the film and is killed about halfway through, and it's basically just a plot point.
Yeah,
which is fucking fascinating. And this film's relationship to Spectre, is interesting. Just where Spectre, it was like Blofeld is like, I was the author of all your pain, and that is I talk about it in the beginning in the Ian's Guide to Bondage thing, but that is a performance that is just a preening, narcissistic, I want to get one over on you, I am the author of all your pain, I'm convinced, is a deliberate line of just a fucking egotistical dickhead. It's not supposed to be cool. It's a stupid line.
Yeah.
And then you get this film where
it's a nasty little narcissist. It's a bully, essentially.
He's a bellend. The Christoph Waltz performance in Spectre is, what if Blofeld was just a fucking twat?
Yeah.
Like, I honestly think that's how Waltz is playing him, and he does that in this as well, and just like the whole
all of the villains in this, they're all in the Craig ones, they're all just dickheads.
Yeah, they're all just twats.
It doesn't romanticize any of the villains, which is quite nice, because sometimes these movies do. They give the villain either they've got a point, or they make them charismatic, or they make them better, more. A strong Marvel point has been for years is that often the villains can be more charismatic than the bad guys, the good guys. But they're not in any of the Craig films at all. You got Mads Mikkelsen literally weeps from his blood from his eye. What's his name in
Matthew Elmerich? He's got big pupils.
Yeah, and again, he's an angry little weirdo. And then what's it?
Javier Bardem's a bleach blonde weirdo.
Yeah, he's a bleach blonde weirdo that appears to have some kind of, fucking Oedipal complex. And then Blofeld, who's just a bit of a dick. Bond should have looked at first at Blofeld and went, he's not wearing fucking socks with his fucking shoes. And just gone, I'm not afraid of this prick. Fucking walk down a fucking meteorite thinking he's big shot. Not bad.
Yeah, no, but no, exactly. And it just, this film in particular is really not concerned with the villains.
No.
It's not. And it's like having Rami Malek be out on the press tour almost feels like a bit of a, just like, we're just going to do this as a distraction, because the film is not that bothered about him. I
get the feeling that Rami Malek out on the press tour because Lea Seydoux just has no interest in doing any press for anything.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But I mean, it feels like a villain performance that he signed on to before he won the Oscar. Like, if I'm honest, it feels weird that he was an Oscar winner for Best Actor and then he's this villain who is one of the, apart from the action he does, which basically makes Bond accept shit, I'm going to have to die. He doesn't really do an awful lot meaningful in this film. Even though I will say, and this is the Fukunaga touch, I think. I like how discombobulating the very first scene is, where it's like, right, okay, why are we suddenly in some sort of fucking funny games-esque world? You know, like, or like a fucking Scandi thriller place. I thought that was fucking interesting. And also, one other like little theory I've got about how this film is kind of unbothered about kind of action and whatnot. It's more about character. I don't know whether you guys noticed, but the IMAX framed stuff, the IMAX shot stuff, I wouldn't be surprised. I actually wouldn't be surprised if 100% of it is just the pre-credit stuff. And then after that, it's in the normal aspect ratio for the rest of the film, because it's like we're going to give you the bombast, but we're not as bothered about that with this as we are about Daniel Craig.
Yeah, there's not a lot of it in IMAX, is there?
No, it's literally all of the pre-titles is, and I'm unsure whether any of the rest of it is.
I think there's a little bit. I think when they first go into the Malik's lair.
Maybe actually, yeah, you might be right there.
It is, yeah. But yeah, it very much is more of a character piece. I like the fact that there's continuing sort of bits of Bond's personality that run throughout the entire thing that they've managed to keep over 4 directors that have stayed there. So like like I was saying to you, Bex, after the fact that Bond always enters a room first.
Okay, cool. So, folks, hopefully I've been able to fucking hide this in the editing, but my Skype has literally signed me out while we've been talking 4 times so far tonight. Don't know what the fuck is going on, but I am now on my phone, so I probably sound not great, but it's the best I can do. So anyway, I'm so sorry, Mark. I don't even remember where we got to.
I'm just saying that there's a protective thing when he walks into a room where he bursts in like a door. Someone open the door to go in, and he'll just burst past them, and it feels like he's being rude or he's being brash or what is it? Because he always makes like a cocky comment as he's walking in. But it's like a protective thing, and it's cool that's run throughout all of the movies. But Ian, you were very excited for this, weren't you? And
yeah, I mean,
the danger is when you get that excited for something, it's got to live up to that, and it's got to, no matter how much you try and temper it when you go in, it's got to be that good that the disappointment can feel worse. So if you go into something really pumped for it, and it happens to be a 4.5 out of 5, it can feel like you've just watched a 3 out of 5 movie. It can hurt worse than going and expecting nothing and it being shit.
The Prometheus effect.
Yeah.
Perfect example, Beck. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ian, you emphatically were not let down by this, were you?
No. I mean, it's 100% a subjective thing, this. But if it's not my number 1 film of the year, I'll be really surprised. But at the same time, I would be surprised if it was in either of your top 10s. You know, and
I'll be surprised if I see 10 better movies than this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if I see 10 better movies than this year. Just for the sheer audience factor of it, the moment when I do genuinely think, I think there's parts of the film that I don't think the film ever drops below 4 out of 5. I think there's parts of it that are oh wait a minute, there is one bit that would drop below 4 out of 5, and I thought that the credits were a bit naff, to be honest.
They are doing some homaging pretty hardcore, but the one bit where there's somebody scuba diving and it's like, if you know that's Thunderball, then fair enough, but if not, it's like, why is there a scuba diver?
Yeah, and
it's stuff like that. I get it.
Yeah, And that was that, but it's the opening credits of a fucking movie. You cannot go, well, the movie was great, but the opening credits knock off a half a star. You just can't fucking do that.
You see, this is the thing. When those circles came up, like so when it's like the shot of the train like going like leaving Madeline and whatnot, and then the circles come up and it says like I don't know, like Eon Productions or whatever, and I was like, fuck, that's the start of Doctor No. Oh shit, this is going to be great. Like, honestly, it was pushing my pandering buttons something fucking rotten, and that's been my worry, kind of like leading up to us talking about this. I've been kind of wondering how much of my reaction to it was just basically being pandered to, and it kind of feels like, well, definitely not as much as I thought, given what you just said there, Mark.
Yeah, no, I think that the last, from the moment where, because you as an audience, you know what Seffrin's just hit him with in the face. Yeah. And so I think from that moment there, that is where you're going, oh, right, they've got a handle from here to the credits so well. Otherwise, it's a tightrope. One little swing to either side, and the whole fucking thing stops it from, what is it? And I think from there, it is genuine, like bits of Casino Royale. It's not just good Bond. It's not just good action or anything like that. It's great dramatic cinema. And Craig is playing it absolutely perfectly. The score is fantastic along that bit. It keeps it really, really sort of well done and keeps on a real nice balance of it keeps the emotion up, but it keeps the emotion up and the bombastic nature of it up as well.
So, I mean, I kind of talk about this in the Bondage show, but one of the things that I really like about that final sequence as well is you get a very mini kind of greatest hits of Bond, where you get that kind of one-shotty kind of fight sequence, and then you get Craig saying to Wishaw, like, I just showed my someone that new watch. It really blew his mind, which is a joke that Craig's not necessarily done that all the time, but then the way he smirks to himself.
Yeah, it's almost like he's amused that he thought of it.
I'll be honest, I basically teared up from that. Just the fuck, I'm not going to see much more Craig now. And then the bit where, and then it's him accused, like, you got to do this, and do that, and then do this, and then Bond just does it all. Like, and it's just like, and it calls back to the old relationships with Q, and there's a lot more of the old Bond and Q dynamic in No Time to Die compared to the other films, which I liked. But yeah, like I say, it's just this like mini greatest hits of Bond, and then you've got Daniel Craig giving that speech, which is just like, honestly, I could barely fucking take it. Like, I was a mess, like both the jaw on the floor thing, but also, like you said earlier, Mark, just Craig just absolutely fucking nailing it. And just the whole kind of like what was it he says, like, the only thing I ever regret in my time with you is putting you on that train.
Yeah.
Like, fucking hell. And then the whole kind of like, you've made the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It just like, I mean, like, it kind of sounds cheesy, but it's Craig's Bond letting himself emotionally loose, properly emotionally loose for the first time since Casino Royale. And now he's never going to be able to fucking see them again. It like, oh, bloody hell. And this is sorry, and I'm going to stop in a second, but this is the thing that makes me absolutely okay with what they do with Bond in the future now, because Daniel Craig is my Bond and No Time to Die is my Bond film. And if they go on from here to great heights, brilliant, but I don't think I will ever be emotionally affected by a Bond film as much as this ever again, and I'm fine with that. Because, like, for me, it is just god tier fucking work.
But
Like,
as well,
yeah.
you had the bit earlier that I thought was not quite as emotional, but still, again, really good when Jeffrey Wright died in it. And it was Bond essentially losing his only friend.
Yep.
Everyone else that he has, Moneypenny, Q, M, they're not friends. They're work people. He cares about them, but they're work people. Jeffrey Wright is his only friend that he seems to have. And
That Felix.
yeah, and he loses him, and it's this. There's a thing of everything around him is just falling apart.
Yeah, I will say, even Q's realization at like what is happening at the end. It's like he either says like, "Oh no," or "Oh god," I can't remember which, but it's the realization that I'm so fucking glad that Bond told Madeline why he wasn't, like, the whole kind of like the realization that he was poisoned. I kind of thought that Bond wasn't going to say anything there, and it was just going to be like, "No, you go, I'll be all right." And it's like I kind of needed her to know, and then, like, just sorry. The linking back to On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is so fucking smart, because this film is a Bizarro World sequel to that film. And the way that it ends with, like, I'm going to tell you a story about a man called Bond, James Bond, and it kicks into we have all the time in the world.
Yeah,
like, it just
yeah. I was a little bit worried at that moment when I went through the tunnel. I thought, oh no, please don't have like a little montage of bits of Daniel Craig as Bond. And the fact that it didn't, I was like, oh, bravo for having the fucking confidence to not try and remind people.
Could you imagine if it did that, and it did the opening bars of that song at the end of Fast 7? And then it's just like 2 minutes of like, "It's been a long time without you, my friend."
The thing is, at that point, I'd have probably gone, do you know what? I'm all right with this now. I mean, I'm going to say emphatically, definitely not shit.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, like, spoiler alert for review of 2021, it's just going to be me fucking jerking off, like, fully sticking my thumb up my ass while I jerk off about No Time to Die. Just let's go, no holds barred. Like, let's see if I can jerk off so much there's blood.
I'm quite looking forward to. There's a few things, like, genuinely, listeners, I was worried at work on Thursday night because I knew what time Ian was going at the screening, and I was working a 12-hour day on Thursday, and I knew Ian was going into the screening at about 5 o'clock, and I knew he was coming out just after, I think at 2 minutes to 8 or something like that, or a minute past 8. And I was genuinely, during those 3 hours, worried, like a little bit, like, to the point of where the girl that I work with went, "Are you all right? You've been a bit, like, what is it tonight? You look worried about something." I was like, I had to explain to her that I was worried because my friend was seeing a movie that was really important to him, and I was hoping that he was going to really, really like it.
I mean, in all seriousness, like, this has only happened at like a few times where it's like it just feels like I've just been building up to something. So, like, Peter Jackson's King Kong, like, and Avatar and Prometheus, Donna's had to deal with me after all 3 of those. And it just, like, and she didn't have to do that with No Time to Die. Like, I came home and she was like, "How was it?" And I was just like, "Bond died." And she was just like, oh yeah, I thought that was going to happen. A bit like Bex, to be honest. Like, no, but
Isn't that what happens to all of them?
No, yeah, but no, it was like, right, let me sit you down. Here's a PowerPoint presentation about why that's unexpected. You know, it's
Did you
like,
go full Charlie Day?
oh God, I monologued. I won't lie. I fucking monologued.
Oh, God.
I mean, it's why I did that show on Saturday, because I know I've talked a lot on this one. If I didn't do that on Saturday, you have no fucking idea how much I would have railroaded this. But Bex, like, definitely not shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not shit. There's a lot of positives to it, and I'm really glad that it's hit the audience that it's aimed at, which is not me. It isn't. I don't have fond memories of watching Bond movies on a Sunday afternoon with my dad, because I'm, not wanting to be all like gender norms, but a girl. So it wasn't really something that appealed to me as a child, and so it's not aimed at me. And I'm really glad that the people that it is aimed at have got what was intended out of it. There's just, I think, if you're in on it, which you two both definitely were, then you are more willing to overlook the negatives, which there are some of.
There's so yeah, like I said, it's a subjective film of the year for me.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to ask me objectively, I'm pretty sure I'll have a different answer. But if you're asking me what my film of the year is, like, so far, and what probably will be, then it's No Time to Die. But what is the best film of the year is maybe a different question.
No, I always think it's what is it? In the same way as when we give what is it here, I'm going to disagree with your definitely not shit, Ian.
Oh,
you need
okay.
to go full Fallout on
Your
that.
Fallout.
Oh shit! Do I know I do need to go full Fallout.
Yeah.
I'm ever so sorry, both. Yes,
That's
I do. Fallout.
Well, that's it. Greatest Showman was my film of that year.
Not Fallout. Definitely.
Was it? Well, it was second.
Yeah.
But like, it's the films that bring you joy, and
Yeah.
it's the films that elicit an emotional response in you. This doesn't with me. It does with Ian. Fucking great. And I'm absolutely stoked as fuck that it's made so much money, and that people are like, it's the return of cinema. Yeah, all right, let it fucking hail in a new era of people going back to the cinema. There'll be so many people that went to see that over this last week or whatever it's been out, that haven't been in a cinema since they reopened, because they've felt not that it wasn't necessarily worth it for them to not take that risk, but do that thing that's a little bit scary for them. And this made it worth it for them. And they might have gone and go, oh, actually, that felt a lot safer than I anticipated it would. I will go again. And it will be a snowball effect.
The people who sat behind us, I overheard them say when they got in, that's the first time they've been to the cinema since 1917.
The year?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're well old.
Well old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine Rise of Skywalker or 1917 will be the last time that a lot of people went to the cinema.
Yeah. So for that reason, it's not the great movie that I really, really hoped it would be. I didn't think it would be for me, but I really, really hoped it would be. But it just isn't. Bond thing just doesn't get me. I think there's other franchises now that do it better. But
sorry, Bex, go on.
But I'm really glad more for the overall effect of it, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And I just want to major shout out to the guy further down my row. I think might have had, no, he did have some sort of mental illness of some sort, but like literally shouted out at one point, what, there's 2 007s? That's crazy. I just thought was fucking brilliant. Like just how into it he obviously was. And
yep.
I kind of heard him like making some noises and whatnot through the film. So like, bless him. Like I don't think it was just someone who was really, really mind blown, but just, I don't know, having that reaction from anyone, that's fucking brilliant. That's what you want. And it did make me laugh, but in a bless him kind of a way, you know.
Yeah. Not in a that's, if that's somebody interrupting the movie, that's how I want movies to be interrupted. That's good interruption.
Well, that's he's saying what everyone else is thinking,
kind
of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Yeah, it's
It was just
right.
it was just the way you went 2 007s. That's crazy.
I did like the fact. One thing that I noticed, trailer versus film, is obviously in the trailer it goes, "I met your new 00. She's a disarming young woman," and in the film it's 007. But obviously they've hidden that to keep it a bit of a secret.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I never spotted that, but yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah, they didn't they?
So I did pay attention.
Oh, you didn't say you didn't.
Yeah.
Our audience poll on that was definitely not shit 80% and shit 20%.
Fair.
Fucking shit.
All I can think there is it's people who've gone to watch it who don't like Bond movies.
No, because
You don't like Bond movies?
yeah, but I'm not saying it's shit.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think if you like Bond movies, if you're into Bond, I don't see the single reason why you wouldn't have thought that No Time to Die isn't top tier Bond.
Oh yeah, and it's absolute like fan service. Like obviously Ian's caught a lot of references from having his rewatch that we definitely me and I'm guessing probably you because it's a long time you've seen the old ones won't have necessarily caught.
Oh no, I don't think I've watched a single Bond that wasn't a Craig one since I think the last one I watched.
Was it in 1917, Mark?
It might have been a nice. I think the last one I watched might have been in the early noughties. I rewatched on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, early on, there is a line where Daniel Craig says something like, we've got all the time in the world, and then it kicks into that.
Yeah.
In terms of Bond history, just for context, when Bond's wife is killed in On Her Majesty's Secret Service at the end, a policeman pulls up and says, like, is everything all right? And he says, I'm paraphrasing, but it's all right. She's just resting. It's okay. We've got all the time in the world. So it's like a very heavy, holy fucking shit. They're doing On Her Majesty's Secret Service vibes here. And the thing is with that film was always an underappreciated, like, black sheep because of its style and because of George Lazenby and whatnot. So the severe On Her Majesty's Secret Service love this film gives, it just, again, it's pandering to me. It's to end, I would just say it's like they opened up my head and went, what would make a perfect Bond movie for Ian? And it was pretty much No Time to Die.
And so, that is a wonderful thing. Ian, what else have you been watching this week?
Okay, yeah. Have you guys got a time limit, by the way? I'm in the bedroom. I don't so much, but just checking.
No, it's all good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Just because I know we got Hellraiser to record as well, so I've only got 2 what we watched anyway.
Have you ever wondered what so-called family films will scar your kids forever? Putting 4 and 5-year-olds in front of this movie, it's like, if they didn't know what death was before this, they're going to know it after it.
They're going to know it after it, and they're going to be freaking terrified.
And they're going to be questioning you.
Yeah.
Or do you have the slight suspicion that your loved one has a cold, dead heart?
Yeah, The Dark Knight has got like all the orphans, and like, oh no, we're going to die. They did not build up those orphans at all. In my head, it's like, kill them.
Then look no further. The His Film Her Movie podcast is the show for you. It's the movie podcast that celebrates the contrasting cinematic tastes of its hosts. So join Jordan and Lauren every week on their unique journey through the land of the silver screen. So if you're looking for a few laughs, some fun film related chat, then get involved. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey Hannah, I think you really can't beat a good rewatch of a TV show. Would you agree with that, love?
Oh, yes, I would.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think during, global pandemics, storms, all of these things, it's quite nice to just sit down and burn through something that you've seen a million times.
Absolutely, nothing like a binge watch.
Star Trek,
Babylon 5.
Because you could sit there for hours looking at serial killer documentaries.
Absolutely. That doesn't
Netflix.
make you a weird person at all.
It doesn't. Yeah, you could watch documentaries that all seem to be about women killing men.
Love you, darling.
You could put off watching Daredevil for the 30th time.
Harry Potter.
But really, you can't beat immersing yourself in the warm jumper of a rewatch of a show or a franchise.
Beloved franchise.
A beloved franchise.
Lord of the Rings.
Twin Peaks. From VHS compilations recorded off television, with the ad breaks, cut out of course, to DVD box sets of Sex and the City and, I don't know, Smallville.
Farscape.
Quantum Leap. To giving up finding new content on Netflix and just having a comfort trawl through Star Trek The Next Generation or Parks and Recreation. I think that we can all agree.
There's a lot to be said for that.
You can't beat a good rewatch. So, with that in mind, join
Hannah
and Mike from Chinstroker vs. Punter as we burn through some of our favourite franchises and share our immediate reactions to each instalment in both spoiler and non-spoiler sections. To do that, do a search for the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whichever your favourite podcast provider may be, or go directly to anchor.fm/rewatch project. We are proud members of the Pod Syndicate family of podcasts.
So I rewatched Free Guy because it was on Disney Plus. Watched it with Donna, first time watch for her. Do you know what? I actually kind of think Free Guy might be in my top 10 of the year as well. Either that or Surprises, because I know it's one or t'other. But Free Guy is going to be a future comfort rewatch, like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I can absolutely see why on that one.
Like, that thing is so bright and breezy and just wants to be entertaining. Like, Donna had a really fucking good time with it. Like the whole the dude at the end where it's like, I only care about three things in life: kicking ass, TBD, insert third thing here. I fucking killed her. And just the whole catchphrase, like, I mean, it's great. It's fucking great.
I love the fact that when he goes to hit Guy, a guy pulls out the shield. Even Dude is impressed with it and smiles.
Yeah,
He gives him
absolutely.
glasses as well and sends him off, and he's just like collecting protein powder and stuff.
Do you notice as well when he's got the glasses on, like the item that he's holding is whey protein? It's fucking great. It's fucking, like, honestly, Free Guy, that film. I mean, you said earlier on, Mark, that like nobody was really expecting anything of it, but that is one where it was like it was good marketing and just a fucking fun film. You know, yeah, no, fair play, Free Guy, brilliant. So I also watched Anton Fuqua's The Guilty, which appeared on Netflix the same day that his previous film, Infinite, appeared on Amazon Prime in the UK. Yeah. Which is fucking weird. So, have you two seen the original, The Guilty?
Not actually, no.
Right, okay. So, this is based on my memory of that film. So, maybe I'm wrong. But I'll go into the story first. So basically, Jake Gyllenhaal plays this kind of like beat cop who's been kind of demoted to answering 911 calls while pending an investigation for something. He's obviously not a massive fan of the role, and but he gets a 911 call from a woman who has been kidnapped. And he basically makes it a bit of a personal quest to try and save her and make sure that her kids are safe. This film feels like the absolute stereotypical example of what happens when Hollywood remakes a foreign language sleeper hit. It is very, very overblown, considering it's basically set in one place, and a massive proportion of the runtime is just focused on Jake Gyllenhaal's face. It's got the screenplay is written by the guy who did True Detective, Nick Pazzolatto, and it is fucking ripe. It's so just these things are happening in entirely the wrong way. Like, Jake Gyllenhaal's supervisor in this film should have told him to get the fuck out of the office maybe 20 times. Like every 2 minutes, he is shouting and swearing at someone. And I don't remember the original being like that. I remember the original being this tense, nervy, kind of quiet thing. This one, it not so much. It is fucking, like, Anton Fuqua is aching to do something else other than focus on Jake Gyllenhaal's face, but he can't, because that's like the USP of this film, that it's all like set in this one place. And yeah, there's some twisty stuff in it, and I'd imagine if you'd not seen the original, that would probably hit pretty well. But yeah, it did feel a little bit pointless, and it felt a little bit, Jake Gyllenhaal, why are you doing this? So yeah, it was all right, but absolutely, if you've seen the original, you do not need to fucking go near it.
Well, I've
Jake
not seen
Gyllenhaal.
the original.
I'm actually really looking forward to this.
And Jake Gyllenhaal and Anton Fuqua are my boys, so...
Yeah, I mean, look, Gyllenhaal is good. Like, he is doing the best that he can. I'll say that. I'm sure you guys will probably watch it this week. I'll be intrigued to see what you think, but I will tell you now, the original is better. Not really a surprise, I suppose, but it really is in this case. That's it. What we watched with me.
What have you been watching, Becky?
On my own?
Yeah.
Me and Isabel watched Urban Legend.
Nice.
Tight.
Not really much to say about Urban Legend. We've spoken about it at length. It's fucking great. She's like, it's Jared Leto, isn't it? Yes, Isabel, it is. He was pretty, wasn't he? Yes, Isabel, he was. Huh. And I told her that other lady killed someone, and then we just enjoyed the film.
Rebecca Gayheart.
That's it.
Yeah.
She's got magnificent hair, though.
Does have magnificent hair, yeah.
Maybe that's why it happened. Maybe she was distracted.
She probably was distracted, yeah. In that.
She does seem like a bit of a parakeet, to be fair.
Yeah. I don't think we can say that because of her magnificent hair, it forgives her a hit and run.
Oh, it doesn't. No, it doesn't forgive her. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out as a separate note she has magnificent hair.
Right. So you are separating the two of them.
Yeah.
That is
yeah.
good. Yes.
As does what's her name?
Alicia Witt.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big thing for you, innit?
Yeah.
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 Could just have red hair and a French accent. I'd be the woman of your dreams. And be a bit more of a bitch. I'm too nice.
Apparently.
Yeah, but that's all I watched on mine. It's really good. And the thing is, I keep expecting to watch it one day and it'd be like, yeah, it's not actually that great. But it just fucking is. It just holds up.
Apparently, Tara Reid is making a comeback. She's ready to come back to Hollywood.
Boom.
Yeah.
I look forward to playing biochemists and fucking rocket scientists and shit like she used to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all right.
Unconvincingly.
Well, fuck you. We watched Spectre, didn't we?
We did.
In preparation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not as bad as people would like to say it is.
It's a touch dull, but it's not bad.
No, its problem is it is a touch dull. It is. This one does feel as long as it does, and it does make you could cut bits of this out.
Yes.
The problem is with Spectre is it ends, and then you have a 25-minute ITV drama tacked on to the end of it, and that is a bit of an issue. It should have ended where it ended, not then gone to London.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. I mean, it's like the Andrew Scott character. Yeah, like I again, I said in the Bondage show, I think you could easily cut the Andrew Scott character or the Dave Bautista character, probably the Andrew Scott one. You know, cut 10, 15 minutes from the runtime and just have a film that flows better. And also, I will say, I think I've said before, Ray Fiennes not saying, the whole kind of like, now we know what C stands for. He should have just left it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said that, didn't you,
Yeah,
Bex?
I did.
You said that.
I shouted
at least Bond alludes to it at the start, where he's like, "Oh, my friends call me Max. I think I'll call you C." Like, at least there's that. But the fact that Ray Fiennes actually, it feels like for a second, Ray Fiennes going to call him a cunt.
It does teeter on that because he gets the F-bomb in No Time to Die.
I think he does in Spectre as well, doesn't he? There's an
Yeah.
F-bomb in Spectre. I really fucked things up, didn't I? Someone says, I swear.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. He gets the F-bombs in both of them.
And to be fair, Spectre has added Monica Bellucci, so there is that.
Does, but she's just a little bit. You've got Monica Bellucci in a Bond film, and that's all you do with her.
Yeah.
I mean, she may as well be credited as problematic shag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that should be her name. Shag,
it really should be.
Shag.
At that moment, you kind of watch it going, well, that couldn't happen in a modern era Bond film.
It's not. I don't think it's as bad as I remembered it being, because it's quite obvious that, like, her marriage to her husband probably wasn't the most loving thing in the world. But at the same time, like, Bond's not exactly forcing her down, but
he's taking advantage.
He's definitely taking advantage. But seriously, that character should literally be credited problematic shag. That's a Bond girl name if ever there was one.
My other bit of it is as well, and I pointed this out to you, didn't I, Bex, about Lea Seydoux, that I've never seen an actress in a film ever so much look like every costume they are wearing, they're going, I would never fucking wear this. Just like she, like, there's almost a visible disgust in what she's wearing from her. It is palpable. But it's
fine.
It's fine. There's also there's a big stunt in it, a big set piece in it with a plane, where he's essentially flying a plane at Batista, and Batista's got the what is it? And the problem is when you're watching it with Spectre, that I didn't actually get as much from No Time to Die, but I did get from Spectre. You're watching it going, Mission Impossible to do this stunt better.
Probably fair, yeah.
And that's a thing.
Yeah.
But
I think that's a problem with the franchise. It's been overtaken by the things that copied it.
Yes, but I think what's clever with No Time to Die is they went more for character rather than set pieces. The set pieces are secondary to it. But Spectre does, a bit like Quantum of Solace, feel like it was 3 or 4 different ideas smashed together, and then they just went, there you go. And it's like, right, this is toffee with a toffee crisp, a Toblerone, and an apple stuck to it.
And some salt and vinegar crisps chucked in there.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on? They've gone, I'm Bon Appetit. And you've gone, fuck it, fine, it's got Monica Bellucci in it, we're fine with that. But it's nowhere near as bad as people would like to tell you it is.
No, it's a perfectly serviceable movie.
Yes. But that's it. That's from what we've been watching.
Did you not watch anything on your own?
I didn't have a fucking chance.
Wow.
No. I had some long work days, didn't I?
You did.
So yeah, so there was that. Should Red Shoes it?
Let's do it.
Right, Ian. Becky forgot what won the poll last week. And it was her movie. It was.
It was great.
No, hang on, it wasn't. It was Pete's Dragon.
It was Pete's Dragon.
Oh, yeah, Pete. That's it. What your movie that one? So Pete's Dragon we're covering next week. After next week.
Yeah, the next one that we're actually together for, which means we've got to choose a new one.
Go on then. Has everyone chosen?
I have.
Sure.
Have you chosen, Becky?
I chose last week, and then you didn't let me say it.
Yeah, but you said you'd forget about it.
Yeah, but I remembered it because it was only 3 days ago, whatever the fuck it was.
Ian, what's yours?
Mel Gibson's Apocalypto.
Oh, that's a fucking left field one. I haven't watched that since the cinema.
Neither have I.
It's out of the cinema.
I don't think I've seen that. Who did you go with?
When am I on? Because you wouldn't go with me.
High five.
What's yours, Becky?
Frank B. Henenlotter's Frankenhooker.
Tight.
Oh shit.
Because I think Ian will enjoy it.
I've seen Frankenhooker. Yeah.
Well, I've got one that Ian might have seen or might not have seen, and Ian would definitely enjoy.
I know what it is.
It's the animation classic.
Yeah.
Orutsuka Doji.
What the fuck is that?
Well, Ian.
Legend of the Overfiend.
Legend of the Overfiend.
Legend of the Overfiend.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll just find a synopsis and tell you about it.
Yeah. No, don't.
Oh,
No. Let him come into it.
I mean, it's not going to win. It's what I've suggested.
Please.
No. If it doesn't win, tell me the synopsis then.
Ian, what I will say is, its
No.
rating is not rated.
Oh God! All right. But shall we just? Okay. Well, for now, shall we just talk about the? Surely it's for almost anyone with a pulse. The red shoes.
Yes.
That film will make Ian so uncomfortable.
Oh, brilliant. All right. So, oh shit, I'm hosting. I keep on forgetting that. So it's the Red Shoes stars Moira Shearer and other people. And it's directed by Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger. This is the story of the Lermontov Ballet, which gets 2 new additions to its company. That's the word I was looking for. You've got Julian Craster and you've got Victoria Page, a composer and dancer respectively, who joined Boris Lermontov's ballet company. And Victoria is to dance the dance of the Red Shoes, which is a Hans Christian Andersen tale about a pair of shoes that once you put them on, they'll just want to dance and dance and dance. And this kind of plays out in the tale of Lermontov and Craster fighting over Vicky. So, Bex, this one for you. Why did you want to talk about it?
It's in my top 10 movies. It's one of my favourite movies. I love it's beautiful. The story's great. The dancing's great. And I wanted to have an excuse, really, I guess, to rewatch it. I think with it being quite long, it's not something that you just go, oh, I'll stick on the Red Shoes. In the same way that you wouldn't just stick on like West Side Story. It's a commitment that you have to make, and watching it for this was a good excuse. I love the fact as well that in all the trailers and everything, it's like, oh my fucking God, you guys, it's in Technicolor.
Technicolor's a big deal.
I know. But you forget, though, with it being like so old. But the thing is, it does not feel like it was made in 1948. Like, it doesn't look particularly dated, apart from the fact that all the men in it look about 60 and get called young man.
Well, yeah, the guy who plays Julian, the fact that man is in his 30s, he's younger than me in that, and he looks like a gargoyle that fell off a cathedral.
He does look rough. But I don't think it feels like a film that's that old. No. Like, when you're watching it, it feels quite fresh. So, yeah.
I think it just kind of feels timeless as much as anything else, you know. Yeah, so Mark.
I do also love the fact that it has the big fucking balls to just show like a really, really long stretch of that ballet as well. Like, that is a chunk in the middle there, where it's just showing the Red Shoes, that the actual ballet, obviously with additional special effects thrown in, but Yeah,
It's a
like
good 20 minutes or so, isn't it?
yeah. Whereas I think in a lot of ballet movies, the big performances aren't necessarily the story. So like in your Suspirias, for example, both of them, the performances that they're putting on for the public are not really part of the story. It is a the yeah, basically. Whereas the story is the story. So the story of the actual Red Shoes Ballet is the story of the film as well. So it shows you it, then it shows you it.
Yeah.
And I like that about it. Anyway, go on, sorry.
So, Mark, what's your relationship with the Red Shoes then, bud? It doesn't necessarily feel like one you watch as much as Pauly Shore films.
I think I watched the Red Shoes for the first time. The weird thing was,
Thinking it was the old David Duchovny show, the Red Shoe Diaries.
no, unfortunately, it was.
Thank you, BBC Two.
It was tight with that. It's good times that. No, I watched the Red Shoes when I was sort of like about 8 or 9 years old. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
uncle. My uncle made me watch it. Not made me watch it, but sat me down to watch it.
That sounds like a story.
Clockwork Orange type shit.
Yes. So
Maybe that's where the redhead thing comes from.
It could be, yeah. Could be that. So I knew about it then, and I'd watched it then, and I remembered kind of enjoying it then. And then I remember when I was about 13, 14, getting taking a book out from the library on Scorsese. And it was like this weird it was a little book that essentially was written as if it was written by Martin Scorsese, but wasn't. And it was like 33 essential movies you must watch by Martin Scorsese. And it was somebody had compiled Scorsese interviews talking about 33 different movies and why you should watch them. One of them was Red Shoes. And so this was back in the days of VHS. You couldn't get it on VHS because there was a licensing thing in this country. Granada owned the rights to it. And so there was a big thing between that, so you just couldn't buy it at that point.
You just pop on down to Granada Studios?
I did actually write to Granada Studios about it. Didn't get anything back.
I've got to say, it is fucking bizarre that this film is a big old Criterion one. It's getting a 4K in the US, and in the UK, it's owned by ITV Global.
Yeah, which happened when Granada folded. They folded those into ITV, and that's when ITV decided to start releasing them.
Yeah.
And there's a few films that fall in that category, random ones that are within that. So but then weirdly, it was on once.
Was it on ITV?
No, it wasn't. This was the mad thing. So Granada also sold their TV library to the BBC, but it was actually shown on BBC One. They actually shown on BBC Two. It was on BBC Two at like 12:15 one night, and I recorded it, and then rewatched it then.
Because you thought you were recording the Red Shoe Diaries.
Yeah, I did, and then went, well, I need to masturbate to something, so this will do. The
gargoyle.
Another gargoyle. Every time his face came on, it just, yeah.
Is that like you keep going longer?
It meant that you could go right until the end when she jumped off the. What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always have to lower the tone, don't you?
What? Why was that lowering it? So I've had fond memories of it, and I've always been a big fan. I think I introduced you to it actually.
You did?
Yeah. What are yours of it, Ian?
Yeah, I mean, I'd seen it the once before, and I remembered liking it, but I was really quite taken with it this time, I must say.
Kiki liked it.
Very. Sorry.
Kiki liked it.
Oh, Kiki did like it. Yeah. My Twitter on my Twitter and my Instagram, you can see Kiki dancing the ballet of the red toy. Has such odd timing that was. But yeah. So yeah, no, I like I say, I was really taken with it. It's just a very, very watchable film. You know, like it's Lermontov could so easily have been like just a pure fucking wrong'un, and he's not. You know, I like the way that he's got like no romantic interest in Vicky whatsoever. Like any other telling of a tale like this would have him have some sort of sexual interest in her, and he doesn't.
Yeah, when they inevitably remake it, that'll be in there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Mm.
And I thought, it was quite ballsy that at the end you've got Julian basically dressed like a fucking Nazi. It is odd though, and I mean, like the actor's name is like Marcus Goering as well, and he's got that kind of that perfect Nazi look to him. And I'm sure that wasn't intentional, but that and that fucking black matte coat at the end is like, wow, And I like the way that they end it with that kind of like the emotional versus the intellectual, and it is the two sides of what she wants, but the one side is purely asexual, but all about the art. I think that's a really interesting way of going about things. And I mean, if I was to have a criticism, I would say that the relationship between Julian and Vicky, I think ever so slightly comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like there's that.
I think that's intentional though, because I think it's supposed to be a shock to the audience in the same way, in the same way, and at the same time as it's a shock to Lermontov, because it's obviously been they've obviously been keeping it a secret. It's obviously been going on in the background, and then it's blossomed from that meeting on the the initial meeting when she gets the part and he gets the gig, basically. But it kind of more blossoms from that meeting on the balcony when they both call it their ballet.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I don't know. It's definitely more about her and Lermontov, and then Craster almost kind of like just kind of comes in relatively late on, and to provide a little bit of the there could be another life aspect to it. I don't know. I mean, like again, I'm not that bothered about that. Because I think what it stands for holds up. Yeah, it looks fucking amazing. The kind of the effects that they do during the ballet are bloody brilliant. Very, very clever stuff. And just that ballet at the end, because I'd forgotten this, where they decide to do the ballet and then it's everybody else dancing, but the spotlight is on her. Like, where she should be. That's such a fucking heartbreaking little tribute to her. It is a wonderful, wonderful film. Which I probably wouldn't have gotten to again for a good long while if we didn't do this. So nice one for putting it on there, Bex.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, I'm the same actually on that. It's and that's what I like about this. It brings
other shit in.
Yeah. So that we won't necessarily watch, but I always get a.
That's it. I've been wanting to rewatch it for a long while, but rewatching it on my own would necessitate having a significant chunk of time on my own, and it's nicer to watch it and then discuss it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't think I put on audience poll for this one, or did I?
I'm sure I saw one.
Did I? God, I'm good.
I mean, it's definitely not shit from me.
Yeah, it's definitely not shit. Yeah.
I was really nervous actually that I'd maybe like built it up into something that it wasn't in my head, and I was going to rewatch it and be like, "What the fuck, Rebecca? Get that out of your top 10." But it absolutely lived up to what it needed to, so it's fine.
Yeah, it is brilliant. And I think, like you guys both said, it has that timeless aspect of the fact that it doesn't feel like it's dated or anything like that. No. I think I commented to you and went, it's quite risque at points, this, isn't it?
Yeah, for 1948, the fact that she's
1948.
just walking around in like
Pants.
pants,
Booty
basically.
shorts.
Yeah.
Our audience poll, definitely not shit 91% and touching cloth 9%.
Fair. Well, no, it should all be definitely not shit, but you know.
Fair enough.
People are allowed to be wrong.
People are not allowed to be wrong. We do have a question from Rick Kidd. Rich J. Kidd. After No Time to Die, which are your favourite and least favourite Bond villains?
It's a big one, this, isn't it?
I don't remember any others apart from the Daniel Craig ones, so I would have to say favourite is probably. I really like Christoph Waltz's Blofeld, and I really like Blondie. What's he called? Is it Javier
Bardem.
Yeah. Least favourite, I'm definitely going to go with Rami Malek as Safin, because I thought it was shocking.
Is that just because you don't like Rami Malek, though?
Do you know what? I don't think he's a very good actor. I think he's got people under some kind of fucking spell. Somehow, with his weird fucking face. I think he was, maybe at one point, a good actor. But he's gone a bit, you know, like after Pirates of the Caribbean, Johnny Depp could never not be Jack Sparrow in stuff for a long while.
Yeah.
I think maybe there's an element of that with him. He can't not overact and suck his cheeks in and do silly voices.
Ian, what's yours?
I am, as I've already said, I'm very fond of On Her Majesty's Secret Service, but I am very, very fond of Telly Savalas as Blofeld. Telly Savalas is playing it just as he's just fucking loving taking the piss. So like one of the threads in On Her Majesty's Secret Service is that Telly Savalas is trying to prove that he's actually like essentially royalty. Like he's trying to trick this ancestral society into essentially proving that he's royalty because of the shape of his earlobes. And he's just taking the piss. But then he's also developing this kind of like hypnotist kind of program where he's basically going to unleash a bunch of supermodels who are going to like release this fucking thing that's going to cause sterility in men. Like, honestly, On Her Majesty's Secret Service is both brilliant for like the relationship between George Lazenby and Diana Rigg, but also for fucking how batshit Blofeld's plan is. And Savalas is just playing it as this fucking like ladies' man, like chancer. And he's really, really fun. And it's a very different interpretation of Blofeld than any of the other ones. And On Her Majesty's Secret Service is a film that literally only could have been made in the dates between when it started shooting and when it finished shooting. Like, it could not have been made in any other time period. And Telly Savalas could not have been Blofeld for one day longer. Like, it is fucking brilliant. I really, really like him. In terms of the worst, I think there are a lot of Bond villains who are just very dull. I think Robert Carlyle was the one with wasted potential. Well, I mean, to be fair, Robert Carlyle and Sophie Marceau, because in The World Is Not Enough, it's basically Robert Carlyle is like positioned as the big bad, but it's actually Sophie Marceau who is kind of like almost like leading things. Like he kidnaps her and then he ends up falling in love with her and then she ends up being a real wrong'un. But then because it's, you know, a Bond film at the turn of the millennium, surely you can't have the Bond villain be a woman. And so she's killed with about 25-30 minutes of the film left to go, and then it's just Robert Carlyle having a fight with Pierce Brosnan. It's like you've got Robert Carlyle there as basically a secondary Bond villain who becomes the Bond villain because they can't have a woman be the Bond villain. So that's really disappointing. I think Matthew Almeric is shit.
Yeah, he's my worst.
Like he is like really just well, what's his thing then? Well, he's a little bit shifty, and then he comes at Bond with an axe and goes quite a lot in the fight at the end. Rough.
Yeah, he's not good. I'm going to throw out for my favourite, the Yaphet Kotto and Live and Let Die.
Yeah, Yaphet Kotto is pretty fucking spectacular.
Yeah, just because, partially because he's Yaphet Kotto, and it just seems like he's having an awful lot of fun.
And he's got the best Bond villain death.
How's he die again?
He's hit with the thing that makes him inflate until he explodes.
Oh, of course, God, yeah.
It's fucking incredible. It's fucking incredible. I mean, even though, to be fair, one of the best. I mean, it's awful, and it's an awful film. But Diamonds Are Forever, where the guy who's been coded as gay basically gets an explosive shoved up his arse and then thrown off a boat. But the thing is, he gets this thing shoved up his arse, and there's actually a shot of him kind of enjoying it, and it's. I mean, to be fair, Diamonds Are Forever is the worst Bond film, but there are moments like that, and a moment where, for no reason whatsoever, a woman is shown transforming into a gorilla, and then they never mention it again. Like, that film is batshit, and it gives zero fucks, but it's awful, also fucking awful. Sorry, I could talk about these for days. Yeah. I think between the combination of villains both being shit in The World Is Not Enough might actually do it for me. But Matthew Almeric is shit.
Yeah, he is. He is shit.
But yeah, Telly Savalas or Mads Mikkelsen. Anyway, yeah, that's my answer for best.
Cool. Bit of a weird show next week because Ian, you're LFF, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
With Jord. Or you're going to be bumping into Jord while you're there, aren't you?
I'd like to think it'd be more than bumping into him.
Hi, Jord. Hi, Ian. Bye.
Right, you're going to be
meeting
up with Jord there. There you go. And we're moving house, aren't we?
Tell me Touchwood.
Yes. We're moving house. So, yeah. So a bit of a weird show next week. So there'll be a random selection of things that we'll be talking about.
I'll tell you what, why don't you guys review The Guilty?
Yes, we might review The Guilty.
From a hot tub.
A hot tub. Possibly.
Touchwood. No chickens being counted here.
No.
How many chickens? Who fucking knows?
Could be 60, could be 2. So, yes. So, Ian's hosting, so I don't know why I'm taking over now.
Actually, yeah, I don't know. Sorry. So, yeah, in terms of LFF, at the very least, I think I should be talking about The Harder They Fall, The Power of the Dog, Belfast. I've got others in my head as well, and they've gone. Even though then I think there's going to be some catch-up stuff because like it kind of continues on. But I'll be talking about them, maybe The French Dispatch, if I get a ticket. I don't know. There's going to be a whole mess of stuff basically. So yeah, lots to look forward to there. And then the week after that, we will be back with Pete's Dragon, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Halloween Kills, the 18 rated The Last Duel, which is fucking interesting.
18?
Yep.
Fuck.
Oh, is that awful? Is that awful one with Jodie Comer? I don't want to watch that. That's the one with the Matt Damon mullet in it, isn't it?
It is with Matt Damon.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to cope with that hair.
I'll
try.
It's the Matt Damon mullet. I'm not bothered about. It's the bro cut that Ben Affleck seems to have.
Shocking.
It's like Ben Affleck went into makeup and they went right, Ben, what are we doing here? And he went, I've got a picture of me from 1992. There you go. Do that.
So hang on. So when are we thinking that recording will be?
Week commencing Monday the 18th.
Yeah.
Because there's an unlimited screening of Dune on the Monday.
I am gonna see that in IMAX. So
Okay.
Yeah, but we probably are as well, actually.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah.
Yeah,
that
good.
makes sense.
That's a good thinking, that, Ian, actually.
Good call, Ian.
yeah, thanks guys, thanks.
So-
Yeah. So what?
I said you're welcome.
Oh, sorry, thank you. And then in that show, like I say, I'll wrap up the LFF stuff. So again, at the very least, I'll be talking about Celine Sciamma's new one, Petite Maman, the new Apachatpong Weersafakal film, Memoria, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and others. So we got a lot of chat.
Yeah.
And I'll be talking about some of the ones that I watched with Jordan and Lauren. So yeah.
Tight.
I'm hosting patreon.com/filmbastards for just a fuckload of Bond content over the last couple of years, folks. I tell you what, a lot of Bond content. The Hellraiser shows that we're going to be recording our look at parts 3 and 4 once we finish recording this show. And you know, other stuff. You know, you get the shows a couple days early, and yeah, you get a bunch of extra content for $2 a month. You know,
Yep.
Plenty of other podcasts asking for a shitload more than that, and they also do a separate Bandcamp for additional podcasts. A podcast that I listen to that I very much like, which will remain nameless, but they literally have a Patreon and a Bandcamp for separate content. What the fuck? We don't do that.
No, we don't do that.
We're not going to do you dirty like that. We're not. So,
What's Bandcamp?
thank you very much. Sorry, Beck?
I said, what's Bandcamp?
It's a thing where people can upload like their music or podcasts or whatnot, and people can like pay per track.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. They literally do kind of marathon episodes for like directors or film series on their Bandcamp, and then just do extra content every now and then on the Patreon. So like, just do it all on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Silly bastards. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me, Becky.
Thank you very much for hosting, Ian.
I kind of did. Thank you very much for joining me, Mark.
Thank you very much, Ian.
And I'm sure we all wish Mark and Becky well on the move, and we hope it goes well.
Thank you very much.
Everyone's
And,
good. Touch wood.
Absolutely. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.